All right, so in this video, we're going to review how you graph linear equations. So if we have the equation of a line in y equals mx plus b form, that means that your y is isolated, it's by itself, and here it's by itself, then your linear equation is ready to be graphed. It's in graphing form. Now, there's two key pieces of information. The b represents your y-intercept, which is your starting point. And your m represents your slope, which is your rise over your run, okay? And both of those pieces of information are what's going to help you to graph your line. So I'm going to look at my first line, and I'm going to identify my starting point, which is going to be -4. So my y-intercept is -4. That's my constant term. That's just my number. And then my slope is m, which is in front of x. So my slope is the fraction or the number right in front of x. Okay? So my slope is 1/5. Okay? Now, slopes represent rise over run. Okay? So what that means is your numerator is either telling you to go up or down, and your denominator is telling you to either go right or left. Okay? Going up is positive in the coordinate plane. These are all positive values. Going down is negative in the coordinate plane. Going right is positive, and going left is negative. So since my 1 is positive, I'm going to go up 1. And since my 5 is positive, I'm going to go right 5. So to graph this, I'm going 1 up and 5 right. So first I'm going to go back. I'm going to graph my y-intercept. I'm going to graph my starting point. So on the y-axis, I'm going to -4. I'm putting a dot. And now that I've plotted -4, I'm going to use my slope to get more points. So my slope's saying from this starting point, I should go up 1 and right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go up 1, go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I can also do the opposite. So instead of going up and right, I could also go down and left. So I could go to my starting point. I could go down 1 and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could go down 1 and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then from there, I could draw a line and connect my points. All right, so let's look at another example. Again, we're going to graph this line. And once again, it's already in our y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to go ahead and identify some key features. So my y-intercept, otherwise known as my starting point, that's 3. And then my slope is the number or the fraction in front of x. So in this case, my slope is -1/3. Okay? Now the -1/3, you want to be careful because it's a negative value, but the negative either goes for the numerator or the negative goes for the denominator. Okay? You don't want to put a -1 over a -3 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. That would be changing the slope. Okay? So you either put the negative in the numerator or the negative in the denominator. All right? So remember again, slope is rise over run. So I'm either going up or down, and then I'm either going right or left. Okay? And then same thing over here. I'm either going up or down, or I'm going right or left. Okay? In this case, to the left, my 1 is negative, so this is telling me to go down 1. But my 3 is positive, that's telling me to go right. And in this case, my 1 is positive, it's telling me to go up. My 3 is negative, it's telling me to go left. Okay? Remember, just like last time, I said you could also graph the opposite. So it's the same thing here. You could also do the opposite. I wrote it out 2 different ways. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and graph this. Again, I'm going to go to my starting point of 3. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3 on the y-axis. And let's use this first. So I'm going down 1 and right 3. I'm going to go down 1, right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, right 1, 2, 3. Down 1, right 1, 2, 3. If I want to get more points, I could do the opposite. So now I'm going to go 1 up, and I'm going to go 3 left. So 1 up, 1, 2, 3 left, 1 up, 1, 2, 3 left, 1 up, 1, 2, 3 left. Again, now that I've plotted my points, I could go ahead and draw my line. All right, so let's look at this final graphing example. Again, my line is in y equals mx plus b form. I'm going to identify my y-intercept, which is 5, and I'm going to identify my slope, which is 2. I like to have my slope written as a fraction, considering it's rise over run. So I'm going to rewrite 2 as being 2 over 1. Okay, you could take any number and turn it into a fraction by putting it over 1. That doesn't change the value of it. Now remember again, our slope is rise over run. So my numerator is telling me to go up or down. My denominator is telling me to go right or left. Since the 2 is positive, I want to go up. Since the 1 is positive, I want to go right. So I'm going to go ahead and graph this, starting with my y-intercept. So my starting point is 5. So I'm going to go to 5 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm putting a dot. And now I'm being told to go 2 up and 1 right. So I'm going to go 1, 2 up, 1 right, 1, 2 up, 1 right. I can't go any more up and right, so I'm going to do the opposite. Go back to my starting point. I'm going to go 2 down and 1 left, 2 down, 1 left, 2 down, 1 left. And you keep doing this for as many points that you can fit on your grid. Okay, now I've got enough points. I could go right ahead and draw my line.